My name's Caitlin, I read a lot, and welcome back to my channel. We're in a different location right now because it's Percy Jackson's birthday, and because I tend to care more about fictional characters than I do sometimes about real people, we're gonna celebrate it by making him, or myself really, some pancakes. But plot twist, they're going to be special pancakes because they're going to be blue. I'm like excited for this because one, I love pancakes, and two, I never really do anything for his birthday. That's a lie. I usually reread the series, but I just haven't had the time, so we're just gonna make him pancakes. I have all the ingredients set out in front of me, and I actually have a recipe that I've handwritten and that I will eventually pass down to my descendants. I actually found it just online, so it's not like my recipe, but I'm pretending it's mine because it's really good. Let's get this party on the road. I will leave down below all of the ingredients for the pancakes, obviously, down below. I've already washed my hands. So the first thing that we need to do is separate egg whites. I actually love doing this. When I first learned how to do it, I felt like such a pro, but really, it's not that hard. So you need 3 eggs. Because I'm gonna make really fluffy pancakes, it's best that your eggs are at room temperature, but I just took them out so they're still a bit cold. They will still turn into like fluffy, like that's what you're trying to aim for, but it'll just take a little bit longer because you're gonna be using an electric whisk. So I'm gonna do that now. I wanted to also like just talk in this video about life because at the moment I'm back at uni. I know in America and I think the US as well, I'm back at uni. This is my second semester. Second year, second semester, I'm doing a business degree. I am majoring in marketing and management, and so far I'm like enjoying my classes, but it's just kind of hard, which, I mean, it's a given that uni is hard, but like the past couple semesters I've just been focusing on passing, and then this semester I was like, no, I'm kind of sick of passing. I kind of want to like start doing a little bit better, and then I kind of shocked my body into studying like so hard for a couple of days that I'm like still recovering nearly like a week later because it was just really intense, and I hadn't done that since like high school, and that was like 2 years ago. And I just really hate that I nearly dropped the yolk into the egg whites. Also, just to note, if you do get a little bit of egg yolk into the egg whites, it's okay. Like they will still peak, but it won't be as fluffy as it would normally. I got a bit of shell in that, but I'm kind of lazy to take it out. So whoever eats the shell, I apologize. What was I saying? Something about uni. Yeah, I was very close to hitting a burnout, literally from like 3 days of extreme studying, which isn't great, but again, it is what it is. I am taking a break a little bit from like studying so hard. I'm like trying to pace myself a little bit better, and I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm able to do things now without like burning out so quickly. So I've just separated the egg whites. Normally this would be the time to beat them, but we're gonna not do that right now because it's really loud. Also, that goes in one like bowl, and then in another bowl I've just put the egg yolks, as you can see, and then we're gonna start putting all the dry ingredients and other ingredients in this one as well. Okay, enough about uni because uni kind of makes me sad at the moment. We're gonna talk about what I'm currently reading because, you know, this is a reading channel. But first we're going to add a cup of flour. We're gonna sieve it, and then we're gonna put it into the yolk mixture. So yeah, books. I'm actually in a bit of a reading slump because I've just been busy with writing. Oh no, that's way too much. Also, I'm using self-raising, but you can use plain, and then just add like baking powder or baking soda to make it rise up. Hamilton reference, rise up. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm not really precise with how much salt I put in. Just kind of go for it, you know? I'm trying to read this nonfiction book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Damn. It's actually really good, and I'm actually really enjoying myself. But the thing is, I'm really slow at reading nonfiction because it just doesn't pull me in the way that a normal book would. I'm only adding like 1/8 of a teaspoon to the mixture because I don't really know what it does, so I don't want to put too much. We're gonna add the milk. I use skim milk because I'm kind of lactose intolerant, but skim milk just doesn't affect me as much as full cream milk would. But obviously you can use whatever milk that you prefer. It just tastes better than using, it tastes better to use full cream or skim over like almond or soy milk, which is what my mom and my stepdad use. I've made this recipe so many times and I still can't remember how to make this. 2/3. I've been reading some graphic novels lately. Oh, I say lately, I've read like 2. So yeah, reading hasn't been great for me lately, which is really unfortunate. But what has been great for me lately is watching TV shows. So I've currently been rewatching Friends, but I've been watching it like from the beginning. So I think I'm on season 2 now. I'm nearly at the end. I think I just watched the episode where Eddie moves out, which was really funny. Next, we're gonna add some vanilla. How much vanilla do I need? I just need a teaspoon. Vanilla is so like good. It smells so good. Again, I'm like not very precise with how I bake, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. But half the time, I think my stuff turns out pretty well. Now would also be the time where I add in the food coloring. So I just use a normal blue food coloring, and I'm not precise with this either. There's no real, I don't know what type of blue I'm going for. It usually ends up like a teal color, which is really pretty, but it's not blue enough. So I might add a little bit more. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. Then I'm gonna measure out my sugar now because I have to pour the sugar into my egg whites slowly to help make them peak. So how much sugar do we need? The recipe says to use only 1/4, but I have experimented over the past couple of months of using this recipe, and it actually kind of works out better if you use anywhere between 1/4 to 1 like full cup, because my family's quite a sweet tooth, like we're all very sweet tooth. It's better if the pancake itself is quite sweet or like just enough, and then they just add a lot of maple syrup and like whipped cream and fruits and stuff. So I have my 1/4 there. We're gonna do the fun part of whizzing it up. You're not gonna be able to hear me over this, so yeah. Also, just a note, again, I am gonna slowly pour in the sugar as I whiz it. They're meant to be slightly more stiff, like the peaks, like they're not meant to be so like watery. I'm gonna like whiz it for like another 2 minutes, but that's what it should like look so far. It's meant to look glossy. Obviously this is not glossy just yet, like you can still see the little granules of sugar, which is not cute. You know, honestly, that'll do. So yeah, usually I would wait for it to go a little bit more stiff, but for the sake of time, I'm not gonna do that. Now we're gonna, ooh, look how pretty that looks. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna mix this really quickly. I mean, not very quickly, we don't wanna do it. I prefer to mix with a spatula because it means that I can get the edges. And then what we're gonna do after that is we're going to then slowly portion in parts of the egg whites. So that's what our little blue mixture is looking like. It's gonna go a little bit more pale when we add in the egg whites, but this is a very pretty color for now. I think I was talking about TV shows. So I've been watching Friends. At one point I was also watching Criminal Minds, but I stopped because the serial killers were kind of scaring me. So naturally I took a break. And just yesterday, actually, I started watching this new show on Netflix called Teenage Bounty Hunters. And it's actually really good. I'll give you my complete attention as soon as I scrape. Okay, camera turned off. I've been watching, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've been trying to. I forgot a lot of what happened because I never watched it chronologically. Because I only ever watched it when it was on TV. Okay, I'm gonna add in the next portion of the egg whites. And then we're gonna start cooking. The cooking process is actually what takes the longest. Folding again, and the color, as you can see, is turning a lot lighter. I might have to add a little bit more food coloring so that the color is more prevalent. For those who read my book or who have kept updated with my previous video, which is a writing vlog, you will know that I'm writing a book and it's going really well. I'm currently in the midst of filming another writing vlog. I think I'll be making them at like monthly as I hit new milestones for the book, and yeah, I'm really enjoying writing it still. I haven't read The Tyrant's Tomb yet, which is the newest Percy Jackson book. I'm also going to add a little bit more of food coloring so that it's bright. I haven't read Tyrant's Tomb, right? And I feel really bad for not doing that because I like to say I'm a bit of a Percy Jackson fan. So, I mean, if you couldn't tell, making blue pancakes on his birthday, wearing a Percy Jackson shirt and a necklace. Who would have thought I'm a fan of Percy Jackson? But I just haven't read it yet, and I don't know why I can't bring myself to read it. And I've actually encountered quite a couple spoilers now, because it's been about a year since it's come out, so everyone is just like freely posting it and talking about it, which is like fine. I'm not angry at like the spoilers I've read. I'm just like annoyed at myself that I haven't been able to read it yet. And I don't know why, because I love Rick Riordan's writing. I love the series. I'm gonna start cooking this off camera, and then we'll talk more later. We are now cooking. Good looking. I'm gonna put a little bit of butter into the pan. I'm just spreading around the butter. I use a ladle to make my pancakes very round, but you can use like a measuring cup or even just a spoon, and then you can kind of like spread it around. Also, I cook them on a low to medium heat because pancakes are meant to be slow cooked, and every time I try to cook them fast, I burn them and it's not a good time. I will show a close-up of it on my phone. But watch, you're about to like get Inception, so I'm gonna film on my phone. Also, this is the current setup I have. So I have my tripod, my camera, and then I have all my messy ingredients. I have Percy watching me, keeping an eye on me, and I have my beautiful blue mixture and my pancakes. So, yes. Music. Oh, haven't spoken about music. See, this is good. Writing talking notes before a talkie video is good. Also, to know when your pancakes are done, they will start, I don't know if you can see that, like there will be little bubbles. I have spoken about this before, but my music taste is very versatile. I'll kind of listen to a little bit of everything. But at the moment, one of my favorite songs are songs that I found on TikTok. But before I talk about TikTok music, I want to talk about folklore, because folklore is so amazing. Oh my goodness. Like, that is my favorite. Oh, I've got butter on me. That is my favorite Taylor Swift album ever. I don't have the patience for pancakes because I always try to flip them too early and then it just makes a mess. Very quickly, before my stepdad comes in and starts making his lunch, my favorite song on folklore is Exile, where Bon Iver is featured. I also really like The One, My Tears Ricochet, and Invisible String.
Can you stop it? Someone...
Okay, I'll be back. My stepdad needs to eat. I'm filming this like in my bathroom because my room is a mess and my mom is on call for work. So my pancakes are kind of really ugly, so I'm still going to show them. They're still cooking, but just disclaimer, please don't bully them. I promise they're not always that ugly. I'm having a bad cooking day, and I think because I'm rushing the recipe, I'm trying to cook them really quickly, they're just not listening. Because cooking, you know, you should make them with love, and I'm not loving them a lot, so that's why they're turning out ugly. So love your food while you cook it, or else they're gonna turn out ugly like mine. They're not the prettiest pancakes, but I assure you that they are very yummy. Yeet! That is my little sister. You can even see the blue. Although this is very bad lighting, I apologize, but I just got off a class and I need to go back. So, okay. Chloe, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my viewers. I'm just gonna close off and say thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys are all celebrating Percy Jackson's birthday as well. I'm sure he'll appreciate it, even though he's not technically real. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below anything. If you try out these pancakes, please tell me. We're not going to talk about the first ones that I made because they're atrocious. They're like so ugly. I can't even bring them back. So I'm going to eat them and pretend they didn't exist. It's just the afternoon for me, so I hope you guys have a good afternoon. But whatever time you guys are watching this, have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, and goodbye.